Hi guys, and welcome back to Sundays with Coach Shar. I am Shar, the business doula, here to talk to you today about organization. Organization is very important when it pertains to just your life and being able to get things done and be productive, but also having things kind of set in order so that there's no confusion about where you can find things, where you can locate things, so you're not super flustered. So we'll get right into it. First things first, we want to talk about your clutter, okay? So one of the easiest forms of clutter that I found with a lot of my friends and even clients that I've worked with is their notifications on their phone, where they have like a bajillion notifications, right? And you just want to like clear them all out. Like I know for my husband, I just clear his out because he just lets them build up. Because I'm like, okay, eventually you gotta like clear that out. Emails should not have thousands of emails that are unread. You shouldn't have 500, 600 emails. It's just like sitting there with the notification, but you don't need that. If you don't intend on reading them or you don't intend on, responding to them and they're not of importance, go ahead and delete them, clear them out, get them out the way. So declutter that. That's one of the big assignments that I give to people is to clean up their email. Clean it up. Like you don't need half the stuff that's in there. Let's start from there. And actually, I would recommend everybody get that done before the new year. So that way, January 1st, you can go in clean, clear, under control. Okay. So clean out those emails, clean out those notifications as they come, as you get them in. Even if you have to set aside a time during the day where you just check your email, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure that you're addressing those in a timely fashion and not letting them build up to hundreds and thousands of emails. Because I've seen literally about 10,000 emails for one client. So let's make sure that we're getting that cleaned up because that's a part of organization. Even though it's on your phone, it's still a part of being organized. Paper clutter. I know in today's age, we are super big on like e-billing, paperless billing, but some people, including myself, still get those old-fashioned bills in the mail. So if that's the case, pay it and shred it. That's my best philosophy when it comes to that. If you're a person that just has to have that record of it and you want to keep it, that's fine. But make sure that you maybe have it in a file folder or something. But the best course of action for, especially when it comes to bills and things like that, is to just pay it and shred it. That way you know that it has been taken care of. And then as far as like your receipt from that payment, if you want to keep those, then I do recommend getting like some type of organizer. One of the ones that I've had for a lot of years, even just starting out, is just one of these little handy dandy ones. And they have, you see the little markings on them so that you can basically set it up to be whatever those are in those pockets. So for me, well, when I was starting out, this was like any loan papers, check stubs, receipts, tax forms, stuff for my car, lease. Those are the tabs that I had in this original one. And this is the one I've literally had this since like 2010. You do get one of these ones that have the little pockets. They're really good because they usually have at least 12 or so. So you can put the months on each tab. So like if you have business expenses and things of that nature, you can take those receipts and like organize them that way by month. So whatever you spend on, you just put that in January, February, however it goes. And then that way at the end of the year, when it's time to do like your tax returns and you're needing a copy of those receipts or what have you, they'll be there. Especially if you're not using some type of digital method of tracking like on your statements or something like that. But if you're keeping receipts, you need to have something to organize them in. Don't just throw them in a random drawer. Have them organized at least by month. And then if you have a business already, then you want to organize them by personal or business as well. I'm going to be honest with you guys. My organization, like I've pretty much always been kind of organized or needing to have things like clear and in like a set path, primarily because that's how my grandmother was, and so she has gotten me into doing that. So like important documents, she has always had like a manila folder, and then she'll put like whatever's in there. So this is literally the life insurance policy that she had for me way back when. But when she passed away, literally we were able to just go to her house and collect these folders, and everything was in there, like her receipts for payments, the information to contact the insurance company, everything was like already in here. And so that's typically how I do mine as well. I use folders and also file folders so that everything is separated where it needs to be. A master password sheet so that, like, if something in case of an emergency or some type of situation, or heaven forbid in your passing, people are able to access things. So have like a master password sheet, have a list of all your accounts, have a list of your credit accounts and your bank accounts. Make sure you have beneficiaries on those as well, guys. And then also maybe have like a separate email that you can have like this in a Google Doc, or if you want to have it printed out. I know it's kind of hard with the passwords because we have to change them so often. So typically I keep like an Excel spreadsheet of our updated passwords, and that's something that I keep in the Google Doc in a shared email. Which is really good to also have too. So if you are one of those people who get e-billing for all your bills and everything, I recommend having a separate email just for bills. So this is the email that you give just for bills, just for like anything that pertains to having to be paid. Any billing things needs to go to one email. So that way you're not missing it and it's not like in your 3,000 emails somewhere. So I recommend having a separate email for that. And in that email, have some type of document. I use Google, so I say Google Doc or what have you in that email. That way it's already there. So in case of emergencies, they'll be able to access that information. Your space, like where you work, your area, all that needs to be like clean. The less that you have on your desk, the better. Right now, the way that I work, I actually have 3 monitors in total. Well, 2 monitors and then my laptop. And then I also have my separate personal screen here that I haven't moved yet. But you can imagine that that's a lot in one space. So I don't have extra room for other things. So make sure that your work area is clean. Even studies have shown like the way that you have your working space, it affects your productivity. So like less is more. Make sure that you have as less as possible. Everything is clean to start your day. And then it just helps you to get more things done. Also, I find too, like people who are like super disorganized or have a lot of clutter, that sometimes is a reflection of how their thoughts are. So it's really important to start with a fresh space so that it can help you to have clearer thoughts and be able to work through things without kind of getting caught up on, oh, I got to move this out the way, and then I can get to my task. We want to make sure that even at the end of our workday that we are cleaning up our space. That way when you start again fresh in the morning, it's already taken care of. You don't have to worry about that. I have quite a few closets that I'm able to use because we have different rooms. But as I begin to like run out of space, I'm like, okay, it's probably time to purge because I'm probably holding on to something that I should be letting go. Like if I haven't worn it in the last 2 years, it's probably time to just release it. So consider that as well. If you're running into a situation where you're running out of space for your clothes, for your shoes, for this, that, and the third, it's time for you to purge. Go ahead and donate some of that stuff. For women and men, if you have like professional clothing, there are certain programs that you can donate those to for people who are getting back to work, as opposed to just going to like Goodwill or Salvation Army or something like that. So there are, if they are nice clothes or what have you, you do have the opportunity to donate them to somebody who's actually going to need them and really be able to utilize them. So that's an option for you as well. Finally, the last point, organizing your day. The very first thing that I do in the morning after I give thanks, of course, is I make a to-do list. It can be done while I'm like in the bed. I'm not necessarily moving and grooving, but I do a to-do list of things that I need to get done for the day. I do not recommend doing more than like 4 or 5 things on your to-do list. That way it's not super overwhelming. And then if you do have time for more, great. But if not, then at least, you're getting those solid things done. So usually no more than 4 to 5 things max. And I write it down on paper. I know we have iPhones, we can do notes, we can do so many different things. Like, I get it. However, when you come to do your to-do list, the goal for me, and even just like going forward, is to not be as attached to my phone as possible. So that'll help to increase my productivity. So for example, if I'm looking at my to-do list on my phone, it's more than likely that I'm gonna maybe like hit Facebook or Instagram real quick, like to see what's going on, when I'm really just supposed to be looking at my to-do list. So the less that I'm able to like use my phone, the better for productivity and just to eliminate the distractions, because it can be very distracting if we're being honest, right? So old-fashioned to-do lists, just pen and paper. My friends always talk about me because I have so many journals and notebooks and things like that, but that's because I'm old-fashioned with my to-do list. And then I kind of set my day to go ahead and get those things done. At the end of the day, I make a got done list. So I just make a list of things that I've gotten done or check off those things on my to-do list that are done. I don't worry about what I didn't finish because I know when I get up in the morning, I'll start another list and then I'll prioritize my tasks based upon what I need to get done. But once I'm done with that, okay, my got done list, then I prepare to like unwind or end my day. So whatever you do to unwind, whether that be, having a cup of tea, having a glass of wine, like music, taking a bath, shower, whatever you do to like unwind, do that and commit to that. No need to like add additional tasks to yourself, like at the end of your day. Make that time to unwind. It's a little bit different now for me because I have a daughter who is 6 months. So it's usually after I get her down for the night is when I start my unwind process now. But that's very important to make sure that you're doing. So don't feel like, okay, well, I'm done. Especially for my entrepreneurs who are working 9 to 5 as well. I know a lot of times after we get off work, we then have to go and start working on our business or what have you. Set you a cutoff time. Don't look back at, oh man, I need to do this. Don't even worry about that. You have tomorrow to start over or to start fresh. So we want to just make sure that we are being intentional because that's going to help our self-care. That's going to help our mental to give us an actual break. And then make sure that we're actually resting when we sleep and not just sleep. But organization is definitely key to getting things done and being productive. So be sure to organize your emails and text messages. Make sure you're reading, deleting, doing what you need to do to clean that up. Any paper, pad and shred it. That's the best option to go. Any receipts, use an organizer of some type to keep those in place so they're just not in a random drawer. You want to keep things together. Documents, important documents, make sure that they're accessible, they're labeled, they're there. Let's make sure that we are, taking care of those things. Your space, make sure that, if your closets and drawers are bulging, it may be time to purge. You want to make sure that you're just cleaning those things out, letting go. You're going to get more. There's going to always be another cute pair of shoes. There's going to always be another cute outfit. So it's okay to let some things go so that you can make room for the new. And then your day, just make sure that you start your day with thanks and gratitude first off, and then next come up with your to-do list, 4 to 5 things max. That's it. And then make sure that after you've getting everything done, you've settled your day out, that you are being intentional about wind down time. So just make sure that you are considering all of these things, guys, because it's going to help for your overall productivity. So again, thank you for joining me. This was just your Sundays with Coach Shar, just discussing organization and little tips and tricks for you. If you like this video and you would like to hear more, be sure to like the video, subscribe, comment, share with others. Sharing is caring. And then I'm also on social media, Instagram and Facebook at Shar_the Business Doula. I enjoy our time together every week, and I will see you next week. Make sure you be well, be safe, and enjoy life. Bye.